Anybody out there have questions?
Right, without judicial review, how can the necessary and proper clause and other clauses mentioned in the Constitution be?
Ask them to repeat that.
Yeah.
Right, so without judicial review, how can the necessary and proper clause and other clauses mentioned in Article 1 of the Constitution be?
Stated in Article 3, the judicial branch is its role is to ensure the due process and to carry out judicial review. So it would be limited because the government overall is limited, and technically that's not a bad thing either, because it gives it power because of the fact that it's limited. It powers it to the fact that it knows more about that single topic. And if it wasn't limited, then it would have so many different things, topics going on, that it wouldn't be able to just focus on one thing.
Katie, you guys can just get
How do inter and intrastate commerce affect the relationship and balance between national and state government as a check and balance in itself?
In the Constitution, the government has the right to regulate interstate commerce, and the states are allowed to regulate the intrastate commerce. So without that affects the laws that the government has, the rules that the government has to follow.
That can also be seen in the 10th Amendment.
You needed to. Well, the 10th Amendment. Okay, Katie?
Okay, because of how they ruled in Gonzales versus Reich, what do you think the federal government's going to do to the states that that just voted to allow marijuana in their states?
I believe that it's going to be passed because, I mean, it may be up to the states because it's intrastate commerce. Like, you have to keep it in your state if it's legal in yours. So I feel as if they're going to make it legal in certain states, and if others disagree to it, then they're going to leave it up to the states because it is a reserved power to the states.
Yeah, until the Supreme Court hears a case on making marijuana legal throughout all the states are going to be testing the national government onto how far they can push it, making things legal such as gay marriage and the legalization of marijuana within their states.
And with legalization of marijuana and the gay marriage, that is in the 10th Amendment, that it's reserved for the states.
Since the national government has a federal law on marijuana, how does that limit the states with legalizing marijuana in that state?
The states can make a law and say going against the national laws, but if the national government came into that state, they would have to enforce the national law. But when the state's just doing the laws by itself, it doesn't have to listen to the national law.
Like other governments, we do have 3 branches of government that have a system of checks and balances. Why do you think that has been so successful in our government system?
I feel that having the 3 branches, it has been very successful for the United States because I don't know what article it's in, but they have the checks and balances to keep one power from encroaching over the other, meaning if Congress wants to make a decision to declare war, it has a check on it that it needs to be approved through everybody, so it keeps mainly peace and everyone at ease. So the states don't become a monarchy and one person has all power.
can the president check the power of Congress?
Congress has the power, the president has the power to maintain, no, I'm sorry, the president has the power to direct the army, but the Congress has the power to maintain it and give orders to it. So if the president wanted to move the army, it would need to go through Congress if war would need to happen.
Besides Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, are there any other sections of the Constitution that allow the federal government or Congress to assume power? In your opinion, is the federal government justified in overriding state powers?
I believe so because it's all check and balances throughout the three branches. So if the state, so that I just lost my train of thought. But I was gonna say that one cannot like overpower the other. So even if in one place it's ruled, it is overruled, it still has to go through the process of the government. So it's still, you know, not overruling the other.
Okay, I'll stop you there. Okay, go ahead.